What's going on, everybody? Tom here with Keto Lifestyle, and today we are talking about cravings. Now, as you guys may know, I am 2 weeks into my 13-week cut, so I will have 11 weeks to go as of tomorrow. And this is about the time that cravings set in. Now, I will say that cravings are probably the #1 reason that people fall out of keto. You know, it may be too hard to avoid, or in the long run, they just aren't able to do it. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to avoid or to overcome your cravings. Now, this video is gonna be broken up into 2 parts, right? The first part is going to be general advice. You know, what can you do to beat cravings no matter what they are? And then the second part, I'm gonna go into specific cravings and what those specific cravings might mean that your body actually needs. So sit back, relax, and let's get going. Now, tip #1 I have for you guys is drink more water. Now, if you're drinking plenty, disregard this one, but a lot of people aren't getting enough water and they kind of confuse hunger with thirst. And when you're feeling hungry, you're kind of after whatever sounds good. You don't really make good decisions. So first thing I would do is drink a bunch of water, maybe 2 glasses of water, and wait about 20 minutes. See how you feel. If you're still feeling hungry, then let's move on to the next steps. Now, the next one is also pretty obvious. Are you eating enough? Again, when I get super hungry, I want everything. I start craving obscure things if I'm not eating enough. And I see in these Facebook groups and stuff that I kind of monitor that people are saying their macros are like 1,200 calories a day. There are very few people in this world that I would say should be eating 1,200 calories a day, even if you're cutting. That seems excessive. Maybe if you're like a woman that's like 5'2" and 100 pounds, that may be the case, but most of us aren't in that situation. So again, I can't confirm or deny that that's what's going on, but run your macros again. If you're not sure how to do it, I made a video. It's linked right here. Make sure you're eating enough food because, again, the more hungry you get, the more random things you're gonna crave. And number 3 in this category is going to be simply distract yourself. So what I do a lot of times if I'm trying to avoid or I'm cutting really hard and I'm still kind of feeling hungry, what I do is I go upstairs. My kitchen's downstairs. Currently we are upstairs in my office. If I'm hungry, I will go watch television in the bedroom. I will work up here on my computer. I will keep myself as far away from the kitchen as possible. Why? Because I can't trust myself. I will walk into that pantry, munch on something here or there, and I say to myself, oh, it's just a couple of, Parmesan crisps. It's just a little piece of chocolate, whatever it is. Lily's chocolate. Just to be clear here, I'm not eating regular chocolate. But whatever it is, I don't track it because it's just a little piece. But those little pieces add up very, very quickly. So distance yourself from the food and get yourself occupied in something. If you like playing video games, that can be great. If you like reading, that can be great. Whatever you need to do to get yourself not focused on food or you're hungry, then that's what you're gonna do. Now, these 3 things have been very, very general, and I'm kind of doing that on purpose because now we're gonna step into the things that are a little bit more targeted. These things are gonna be things such as salty cravings, sweet cravings, what they actually mean. So to start things off, myself personally, you guys know this, I love my salty crunch. You know, I'm a huge fan of potato chips. They are a danger for me. I can't have them anywhere near me. But what can you do if you're craving something salty? Well, typically that could mean you need more sodium in your diet. Keto requires a lot of sodium. Makes sense, right guys? There are a couple other things that this salty crunch may entail, or just salty in general, maybe your body requesting from you. But typically what I'd say is munch on something like cheese or baked cheese. Baked cheese is great, especially those keto Cheez-Its that I make. Link it right here in the card if you haven't tried it. Give that a shot if you're craving something salty. Do not go for the potato chips, and that is if you have macros left. If you don't have macros left, you're gonna have to refer to the first section and just try to avoid it all. Another thing that may shock you is spinach. There's a ton of electrolytes in there. Like I said, the salty craving is typically an electrolyte imbalance. So give it a go with some leafy greens, but predominantly I'd recommend eating cheese or some of those baked cheese crisps. Moving on to another common craving that I see, and that is chocolate. Everybody loves their chocolate. Now, this is distinctly different than the craving for sweets. We'll get to that in a minute. If you're craving sweets or, if anything sounds good, whether it be chocolate cake, whatever, that's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about you are craving like dark chocolate or something like that. What you're really craving here is the magnesium. Chocolate is super high in magnesium, and sometimes I'll actually use something like Lily's chocolate to supplement my magnesium. But what you can do is just make sure you're getting enough magnesium. This is available in most leafy greens, again, as well as things like Zip Fizz, and you can even supplement it. So if you're getting this craving often and it is specifically for chocolate, then you're gonna need to look at your electrolytes as well, and specifically magnesium. Again, this one's coming from me. Carbonated drinks. I've mentioned this to you guys a few times. When I get home from the gym, I'm really craving carbonated drinks. This is minerals, right guys? Make sure you're getting your leafy greens or taking vitamins. Now, there are a few other options to beat this craving. Those would be things such as LaCroix or LaCroix, however you say it, Perrier, carbonated waters. Get that out of your system. And honestly, like those carbonated waters, some of them are sweetener-free, sugar-free, carb-free, everything like that. They're really not that bad for you. So this is the one craving that I say indulge, enjoy yourself. There's 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugars. Have at it. Especially if it's going to stop you from craving and trying to eat something else. And the last craving I want to talk about is sweets. Now, this can be various things. A lot of people actually have sugar addictions, and I will say this, my girlfriend had a really bad sugar addiction and it took months to break it. She kept, having to use artificial sweeteners, Lily's chocolate, things like that to kind of beat that craving. That being said, sweets are generally, if you've been on keto for a while, a side effect of having too much artificial sweeteners in your diet. It reminds your body enough of what you had that if you had a slight addiction to this, which I don't know if you guys know this, but the effects on the brain of sugar is very, very similar to that of cocaine, which as we all know is addictive. So when you're reminding your brain of this addictive substance that you've had, it can actually trigger these cravings. So my recommendation in this situation would be just to cut out all artificial sweeteners for a while and see how you do. If the cravings stop, then you know that's what it was. And yes, there are plenty of keto sweets out there. Keto Connect makes a ton of them. I've made some. I'll link one up here in the card. That's a good keto treat. If you have macros for it, you can indulge, but again, watch the artificial sweeteners because those can actually do more harm than good in the long run. So just to recap here, there's a couple steps involved, right? You want to identify if the craving is just a general craving because you're hungry or if it's a craving because you are deficient in something. If you're deficient, make sure you're getting it throughout the day. If it's because you're just generally hungry, up your calories, make sure you're getting enough food. And again, guys, I can't stress this enough. You need a lot of water on the keto diet. If you are not peeing almost clear, you're not getting enough water. And a lot of people mistake thirst with hunger. So first thing I would try off the bat, drink about 2 glasses of water, wait 20 minutes. I would say 9 times out of 10, I am no longer hungry. And when I did that 96-hour fast, that's how I got through it all. I would drink plenty of water, wait for the hunger to go away. And in reality, hunger comes in waves, right? This is something I learned from that fast as well. I'll feel hungry for about an hour and then it'll just up and disappear. So if you can distract yourself for about an hour, I think you'll be in great shape. But with that, guys, I'm gonna close the video. If you wouldn't mind doing me a huge favor, if you have not hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do it. Really helps me out a ton. And additionally, if you wanna share this video, that is just as helpful, guys. Seriously, I appreciate everything you do. If you like the video, leave it a like. And if you have any questions, comments, or some weird craving that you're not quite sure what it means, leave in the comment section. I'd like to investigate it with you guys. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.